Yesterday, the Washington Football Organization welcomed Jason Wright as the first African-American president in NFL history. He will be responsible for leading the organization's business divisions. He's also the youngest to do so at 38 years old. Wright played in the league for 7 years as a running back for the Falcons, the Browns, the Cardinals. We're less than a month away now from the Washington football team's first game against the Eagles. And this morning, the new president, Jason Wright, joins me now with more on what's ahead for the franchise. Jason, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be with you.
So big day yesterday, big news, a lot of interviews for you. You had a chance to sleep on it this morning. Are we more focused now, ready to get to work?
Just a wee bit of sleep. So we'll see about that. You tell me at the end of this.
You know, Jason, I watched a lot of the interviews that you did yesterday, and, a lot of the lines of questioning were the same, and a lot of it had to deal with this, changing the culture that's perceived to be there in the Redskins organization. You're being brought on to help build a winning football team. Is all of that undue pressure for you? Is it too much pressure for you? Is it maybe targeted at you when it should be targeted at somebody else?
No, I think we all see ourselves as one leadership team. Dan and Tanya Snyder have selected folks that align with their vision, the values that they want to espouse across the team, those of inclusion, transparency, accountability. And they've hired Coach Ron Rivera. They've hired me, hired Julie Donaldson. And our leadership team is all aligned around that. And we all feel committed to the success of the team between the lines. Because that's going to expand the value of the franchise, which is ultimately what I'm here to do as the business leader of the organization. So, no, we're all very much aligned. The pressure is absolutely shared across everybody in the organization, and we should have lofty goals and hold ourselves accountable. I
know there will be many, many more meetings, and you're obviously coming from the world of consultants, so you're familiar with many, many meetings to get things done. But as you have more of those now with Mr. Snyder and other team officials, what do you think is going to make the biggest change immediately for this organization that you can bring to the table?
Yeah, I think the reason we've talked about culture is because I think that is the nearest term change that we can make. And I think one other has emerged from me over the last couple of weeks. But, the first one is there's an independent investigation going on into sexual harassment. And that needs to be handled right with the utmost seriousness. And the actions we take need to move us to a culture where everybody's empowered to raise their voice, where especially women's voices are included in the most important decisions of the franchise that are going to change the way that we operate as a business and as a franchise. And we need a place that people want to work and see themselves at for a long time. Those are the things we need to create. But we also need to start engaging fans with more frequency and in ways that are more meaningful. And one way for us to do that is in the process of developing our new identity. And I say identity more than brand. There's a way for us to engage fans better. And I think those are the couple things that in the near term will make a big difference.
Jason, it's interesting, the position that you're coming into now, you're going to be focusing on a lot of the business dealings of this football organization. But you come from a player background. That doesn't happen very often to be in that position. And the reason why I bring that up is twofold. One, it's very rare. But second of all, this is an organization where there have been critics that have said, look, there's only a couple of people here who are calling the shots. Maybe some people are not letting the quote-unquote football people make the football decisions. Mm-hmm. As a former player, are you going to be tempted to be on both sides of the field here, the business side and the football side?
Absolutely not. There's enough to handle on the business side, my friend. I am not trying to have any more pie than I already have on my plate as it is. And honestly, it would be, a bit arrogant to think that I had the expertise to be able to do it at the same level as Coach Rivera and that staff. It's one thing to be a player for many years, and yes, I know something about football, but to be a coach for multiple decades, to have that experience, the scouts to hone their craft, that's a level of expertise that I don't have. And I wouldn't want those folks, if they took a business class, to come over and help me try to figure out our finances. We know our lanes. We are working as a team. We have a united culture. And we're going to be much more effective if we stick to our role.
Jason, you mentioned the identity, the new identity for this organization. Let's get specific. Do you have a name that you are in favor of?
Yeah, man, it's right here. Just playing. I just we don't. I don't have one. I don't have an ingoing hypothesis either. What I'm most excited about is what the team, prior to me showing up, has already decided to do, and that is an open and collaborative, what I'm calling a community-based process, engaging fans, engaging players, engaging our sponsors. And again, it's not just about the name; it's about the identity. So it's actually, an in-depth process. It's going to inform the way that we engage with the community. It's going to inform the way that we redesign the fan experience. It's going to inform the way we operate as an internal culture as well. And so it's going to take some time. It's going to be open. And no, I'm not tipping the scales in any way, shape, or form, my friend.
Today is a good day to get a lot of attention, too. First practice in pads, first day for the media to be there watching everything play out. So a lot of news coming out of the organization today, we do expect. But the big news yesterday, Jason, was yours. Congratulations. Look forward to talking with you again soon.
Thanks so much.
Absolutely.